Well, let's begin our lesson. Hi, Thanh, how are you?
Quite nice.
I've asked you
Quite
to,
nice.
schedule lessons with me because you have a test coming up soon and you haven't scheduled a single lesson properly and you haven't been doing your
Okay.
homework. So you could have
Well,
at least
sorry.
told me, and it
Uh,
seems like you're not taking it seriously enough. I highly.
well, I'm taking it okay.
Well, I
But
didn't see, like, I thought we agreed that you're gonna send me your speaking, writing, reading, and listening, and you haven't done that. You only sent me once, and that's not enough. And then you haven't scheduled a single lesson with me, so you just blew the opportunity, you know? I just feel sad because you had an opportunity, and I feel like you could have done more. At least you could
I
have
don't have.
notified me.
Okay.
Like, I understand you could be too busy, or there might be not enough. Some sort of something happened, some sort of emergency happened, perhaps. But that's like still doesn't excuse at least not telling me. Yeah, please. I'm happy to help you. I'm doing it because I want you to succeed, right?
Yeah.
Feels like you just not value that. Most other people have to pay a lot of money to study with me, you know? And I'm helping you because you are from the town where I personally teach. So I decided to help you basically because I wanted you to do good. Well, anyways, you seem tired. Are you okay?
Quite. And looks like if I'm not, nothing will change. So I guess I'm fine.
I don't understand what you mean though. Can you explain?
Okay.
Yeah?
Okay.
Can you explain what you mean, please? Do you feel good or not? Just something simple. Don't worry. Don't overthink it. Just speak.
Yes.
Feeling fine? Feeling
Uh.
tired a little bit?
Yeah. Oh. Okay.
Or are you feeling overly tired?
Yes.
Overly tired?
No. Not really. Not really overly, but yeah, it's quite.
Feeling tired still, yeah.
It's
So
quite.
when is your test? Can you tell me?
Yeah. Yeah. Tomorrow.
Tomorrow already. I thought you said Sunday.
It is. No. I'm sorry, but
That's fine. I'm just
I
asking.
think
No.
that I think that both of them. Okay.
Do you have the
Yeah.
speaking test
But
tomorrow as well?
yeah, I feel like one day is. Yes, we have the test tomorrow.
Okay, the speaking test is.
But it is up. Okay. What we will take today?
What are you saying?
Well, I guess speaking because I don't think we have enough time for any of the others.
Well, it's up to you. I wanted to do speaking, but if you want, we can also take a look at writing.
Okay,
What do you want?
maybe. Uh,
What do you feel like? You're a grown man. You can decide for yourself.
okay, so could we do speaking, please?
Well, we will do speaking, but if you want, we can also do writing.
Okay,
Well, all right.
okay,
Can I ask you one thing?
okay.
Can you please move the fan so it doesn't blow into your microphone?
Well,
Just
let
like,
me change that.
yeah, that would be great.
I just returned the fan into its original position because on the new place it just keep blowing on my papers away.
Well, make yourself comfortable, okay? This also seems like the connection isn't very stable, or maybe your camera is a little bit too old or something. I can't like see you very well, but I
Uh,
think it's fine. It's not a big deal. Just saying. So yeah, if
makes
you have an
sense.
option to connect to a better internet, maybe you can do that. But if not, then no. I'm happy you've joined. I'm happy you've joined. So we
Yeah.
can do at least one practice test. See how far we'll
Yes.
get
Yes.
today.
Okay.
So let's see. All right. Let's see. Let's see.
Okay.
Let's see. Let me see. Do you have a paper and a pencil with you?
Oh, let me see. Which one?
Paper and a pencil. Do you have them?
Uh, well, I have a pen and a book there, so I guess it's good enough.
Mhm. Okay.
Yeah.
So, let's see. Are you ready to begin?
Yes.
When
Uh,
is your test tomorrow? What time?
what?
What time is your test tomorrow?
10. But I spent like 2 hours to go to the destination, so
So your test is at 10 in the morning, right?
yes,
Okay,
the
I
speaking
understand.
first, and we do the other three at the afternoon.
All right. So, good morning. My name is
Yeah.
Stass. Can you tell me your full name, please?
Good morning, Stass. My name is Thanh, and I am a high school student at Do Luang, which is a district of my parents. Yeah, and I have a family with my dad, dad, my mom, my sibling, which is two of my siblings, one girl, one boy, and my town is uh, upgrading and is becoming a post city soon.
Can you tell me where you're from?
What?
And can you tell me where you're from?
Yeah, I'm from Dolim district. I'm from Dolim district at Hean province, which is a town, which is a town very famous of you shoot and a very crowded place. Quite crowded time.
May I
That's my
see your
city.
identification, please?
Okay.
Okay, thank you. That's fine. Now,
Okay.
in this first part, I'd like to ask you some questions about yourself.
Okay.
Let's talk about what you do. Do you work
Yeah.
or are you a student?
Well, I'm a student and I don't have a side job like some of my friends. And at at the high school, and I probably go to the capital soon to study university, and and after graduate that I will touch my first work. Well,
What do you study?
yeah, I study.
What do you study?
Can you ask that again?
What do you study?
Well, at my school, we study like other subject, mm, which is the which into three categories: the basic ones, including math, literature, and English; the natural science ones, which are physics, chemistry, and biology; and the social science one, history, geography, and social studies. We and our class is more tending on the natural science.
And can you tell me which subject is your favorite?
Well, my favorite subject is math due to the fact that it doesn't have much of its own, unlike chemistry or physics. Chemistry is overwhelming me with different variations of reaction, and sometimes physics got me with some of the basics that I didn't know, but math doesn't have that. If you have a basic that you don't know, you can just use your logic and find that out.
All right, and what do you hope to do when you finish your studies?
Well, after I finish my study session, I I use my computer to watch some video on YouTube until it is like very late. Or if that is even afternoon, I can take my bike and go outside for 1 or 2 hours. Yeah.
Right. Let's talk about paying bills now. What kinds of bills do you have to pay?
What kind of bill do I need to pay? Well, I actually don't have to pay any bill on my own, but my existence has caused a lot of bills to my parents, including my study bill, medical ones, or sometimes the taxes, and there's just more. Luckily that I don't have to pay any of them to my parents.
How do you usually pay your bills? In cash or by another method?
Uh, I'm more of an original person, so I use cash. Well, but I think in the future when I have a proper bank account, I could switch to the payment method using that account.
And have you ever forgotten to pay a bill?
Well, not so often because and I feels like time maybe I could miss some work maybe so, but about money I will try my best to not to miss that because I feel like that is just more important.
Is there anything you could do to make your bills cheaper?
Uh, to make my bill cheaper, I think I have a lot of ways. For example, for food bills, I think that we could recycle food and make a garden to get some vegetable there. And for electric bill, we could just save up the electric and not to and try to use the natural sources of replacement on what electric device that we have to use. Like for light, we could use the outside the natural light instead.
All right. Now, I'm going to give you a topic, and I'd like you to talk about it for 1 to 2 minutes. Before you talk, you'll have 1 minute to think about what you're going to say. You can make some notes if you wish. Do you understand?
Yes.
You have some paper and a pencil for making notes, right?
Yes. And
And
you
here's your
will share. Okay.
here's your topic. I'd like you to describe some food or drink that you learned to prepare. All right, remember,
Okay.
you have 1 to 2 minutes for this, so don't worry if I stop you. I'll tell you when the time is up. Can you
Okay.
start speaking now, please?
Okay. The food and drink that I learned to prepare, I'm gonna tell you, is some basic. It's a basic flour cakes, and the I think that this is a type of cake that we often use to eat between meals, not the ones that people often eat in dessert. And because and it contains flour, usually eggs, and some extra ingredients, often bananas or sweet potatoes, and sometimes using meat, meat. And where do I learn to prepare this? And I learned to prepare this when I was pretty young. Like I don't remember like when I was 3, and my grandparents told my mom asked me to go inside and help her making one variation of that flour cake, which is the normal fry. And I have to admit that I don't really do pretty well, even though it was very easy. But about how I learned to prepare this and become someone who could create the variants of this cake my own is, well, I just doing it again and again due to the fact that it doesn't cost much time or ingredients. Like you just have like basic flours or eggs, and then
Thank you.
just strain it.
Can you tell me, do your friends know how to make something similar as well?
Uh, well, I don't have much friends, but I don't. But some of mine do. And they could do that to sell for money. To sell for money. I don't really think I'm on that level.
All right. So we've been talking about baking and cooking. And I'd like to discuss with you one or two general questions related to this.
Okay.
Well, let's consider first of all young people and cooking. What kinds of things can children learn to cook?
Mm, well, in our household, is very common that children should learn how to cook rice first because it is very basic. You just need to measure the right amount and then you let the rice cooker do the job. But sometimes they do mess up.
What do you usually mess up?
Okay, usually messed up, and they just do something for the family. Okay, next one,
So,
please.
can you tell me how they usually mess up?
Uh, well, actually, Actually, they mess up a lot because they think that that thing is quite easy, and they don't pay attention to that. Like when they forgot to turn on the rice cooker, when they forgot to wash the rice, or they just don't measure the water enough, so the rice is just too wet or too dry. But most of the time they could handle it well if they pay enough attention.
Do you think it's important for children to learn how to cook?
Could you repeat that question again?
Do you think it is important for children to learn to cook?
Well, actually, this is getting some point on my view because that is one way for them to contribute to the household. And often, when they are on primary school or secondary school, they would end up go going home much sooner than their parents did, so they could contribute to that part, and sometimes they could also make a full meal, and so that their parents will have one of their chores list up to be helped.
Now, do you think young people should learn to cook at home or at school?
Well, I think that they should learn to cook at home and not in the educational system, for because of the fact that every family's condition is different enough, and we spend more time in the family more than in school. And well, school may be good at teaching some basic cooking recipe, but after all, you can't just make lemon juice or something wiry in the desert. So it's more up to the family to do the food with what they have.
Let's also discuss working as a chef. How enjoyable do you think it would be to work as a professional chef?
for my personal view, I a chef is quite a busy job and could get frustrated sometimes. But after all, being a chef is very creative and fun. So 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 fun that I could think that that would be my future career. Yeah. Okay.
Can you explain what you mean by fun in this case? How can it be fun?
Well, like creating, like when you try to create a new dish of your own, to create a new dish of your own, or having your own recipe book, that and so you could strive on your creativity, and those activities for me is very fun.
And what skills does a person need to be a great chef?
Well, I think there are three distinct skills that a chef must have. Firstly, they should have they should have a, a good measuring skill. Like some of the dishes are very precise and they're not very hard to do, they're but they require the exact amount of ingredients so that the food could be good enough. Or some of them have no no requirement on ingredients, but have some in the way to cook it. And the second one I want to talk about is the skill to organize. Like texture is, yeah, only taste is not enough, but you also need a way to decorate your food so that your customer really want to eat it. And the final skills, you need a cold head, li- a cold head and a calm. Like sometimes working with fire could could be a hard condition and it could heat yourself up something. It could heat yourself up. So trying to be calm and control your mental is, yeah, maybe something is hard. Maybe something hard.
How much influence do celebrity or TV chefs have on what ordinary people cook?
Well, they actually do have much influence on people who do watch them. Most of them even have their own cookbook, and they are on thousands of sales. People really enjoy it, but but for people who doesn't watch them, they don't really influence them much. Okay.
Thank you very much. This is the end of the speaking test.
Okay. I guess I messed up a lot.
What do we say at the end?
Thank you, and
You can just say thank you for your time.
okay. Thank you for the time. Thank you for the time.
Yeah.
Bye.
Can I ask you to still move your fan a little bit? It's really annoying to hear the wind in the microphone, the disturbance all the time. It's a little bit
Okay.
difficult.
Okay. Okay. Maybe that's far enough.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Mhm. So let's see. Let me make sure you can see everything well. What do you think you could do better next time if you answer the same questions?
Well, uh, well, I guess I would do it better if I don't really panic, or I don't really know what to do.
Panic.
Oh, and also, yeah, I think that but I have some problems of panicking or not really paying attention. Like if I'm looking back, I just feel like I could answer it better.
Well, then what can we do? Just slow down, give yourself time to what?
Okay, to breathe
To
and
think
think
and
about
breathe.
it.
Well, think. Breathe is actually good. Yes, you're right. Breathing is very helpful.
Okay.
You know, our sessions, like our learning sessions, would have been so much more effective if they happened in the mornings, you know, or at the very least afternoons, not like after 10 p.m. in the evening.
Okay.
Just, you know, learning, preparing for difficult tests requires a lot of brain power, as you might imagine, right? One
Yes.
thing I'm not very happy about is that you haven't attempted to use the opinion structure in part 3, right? When you have two sides, a question with two sides, talk about each side and then give your personal opinion. Yeah? It's a very effective
Yeah.
structure at getting you a high score in IELTS. If you, especially if you can
Okay.
finish with that, you know, it's very impressive because that way your ideas don't matter. Your grammar structures matter. Your ability to be fluent and diverse and interesting, like in terms of vocabulary and fitting structures matters. So if you can use that structure, it will elevate your score as well. Well, let's
Yeah.
take a look at this little document. This is going to be your doc. I'll share it later with you. This is the whole test, yeah? So here we have
Okay.
some band descriptors, just in case you want to remember what the examiners need, yeah, when they
Yes.
talk to you. They use this to judge you.
Okay. Okay.
And this is our introduction, yes? Is this graded or not?
Uh, I think it's pretty great.
Is it graded or not graded? Do you get a
Yeah.
mark for this or not? For answering these questions in the introduction,
Uh,
in the
yes. I
valediction?
think yeah, I think I may get some more points because of the impress the I will have more impressive in the eye of the examiner. The
No, you don't
examiner
get
was
any points. You don't get graded for the introduction. That's a greeting.
yeah.
Your
Okay.
grading starts in
One.
part one. So what did we answer? Can you tell me your full name, please?
Uh, my full name is Thanh.
Do you need to say anything
My
else?
full name is uh my full name is Thanh. Yeah.
Do you need to say anything
And I
else?
so I don't really think anything else to add
You
in
don't
that.
need to
Yeah.
say anything else, right?
Yeah.
There is nothing else to say. You just say your name.
Okay.
Yeah?
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. Okay.
Then you started saying I'm in high school. I'm a high school student. For some reason, should be student. Yes, in Dolung. We shouldn't say Dolung at all. When you answer, not a single time you should say the word Dolung. Understand?
Okay.
Cannot say those names. Nhan, no. Dolung, no. Even Ving, no. Maybe Hanoi. The rest, all in English. So my dad, my mom, my siblings, my town is operating and becoming. This wasn't even like, even if it was a question, it wouldn't make sense. I'm not sure what you're trying to say. Well, okay, so try not to say these things. How do you answer this?
How do okay? Let me say. The answer for this is uh well, I come from a middle I come from one
I'm
middle
from
district at
Vietnam.
my country.
Yeah?
I'm come from the district at the
No, you could just
province.
say, I'm from Vietnam. That's fine.
I'm
That's
from
enough.
okay.
This is
Okay,
not part of the test. It doesn't matter what you say. You can say, I'm from the moon. But, well, to be honest, okay, they actually need real information because they need the identification. It's for the identification. Now, honestly, no, you can't say you're from the moon. You have to say the real thing that is written in your document. Yeah? That's all.
Yeah.
Your name and you. This is for the document, right? So you give them the ID, they look at it, they give it back, and that is not the test, right? And you don't need to say like, "Oh, my name is John." Hi, John. No, just no need to say anything, right? When you enter the room, you just say hello. That's enough. Maybe good morning. Enough. Then this is where the test starts. After they say this, let's talk about what you do. Do you work? I assume. Well, yeah, you overuse well so much. It's not even funny. It's not really worth saying that.
Oh. Yeah.
So much. I mean, well is a little bit overused, right? Don't overuse well. Just you can say, so, well, or any unique answer that fits the question, right? You don't always have to say well every single time. It feels like every single answer starts with well, okay? And I'm a student, I don't have a side job with some of my friends, and not my, what was it? Kind of high school, something you said? Not my kind of high school, and I probably go to Capital soon. Can you try from here one more time? So I like to start, I'm a student, I don't have a side job like some of my friends do. But this part, again, let's do this quickly.
And like some of my friends do. And I am a student and they don't have a side job like some of my friends do. So I'm just basically a normal student. Okay.
Okay, so I'm basically just a normal student.
Just
That
a
sounds much
normal
better.
student.
Okay, what do you study? Wait, was that? Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
That was supposed to. Yeah, okay, yeah, that's fine. It's supposed to be question number 2, but whatever. What do you study? Can you ask that again? How else can you say this? Could you repeat that, please? Yeah?
Okay.
Well, at my school we study what?
Okay. Okay. At my school, we study the subject. We study into three different categories of subjects.
At my school we have 3 main categories of subjects of mandatory subjects.
Three main
Or compulsory, perhaps compulsory subjects, main subject.
Yeah.
We have 3 main categories of compulsory subjects.
Okay.
And or you could say the things we study at my school are subdivided or right divided into three main
Okay.
categories. That's another way, categories.
Yes.
Then the basic ones
The first
include
category, okay, includes
math, literature,
math.
English,
Okay.
the
Natural
natural
science,
is it
sciences,
well as the natural sciences,
natural
which are
sciences.
physics, chemistry, biology, and the social science ones. So we have basic, you could say the first,
Okay.
the
Oh,
first category is the basic ones, which include like
okay.
this then, yeah? Which include, so natural sciences is separate, right? So maybe, okay, so then we have the natural sciences, which are, and the final category is the social sciences, including history, geography, and social studies. More tending doesn't make sense. And our class specializes more, focuses more on the natural sciences, yeah?
Yeah.
Which subject is your favorite? Well, my favorite subject is math due to the fact that it doesn't have much what?
Uh, okay.
Much what?
Yeah.
Much what?
Uh, I don't have much. Doesn't have much unique. Doesn't have much. Different. Okay. Doesn't have much. Different categories. Different categories.
I don't know what that means. You need to explain, so it's too much time. Just don't say that.
Okay.
Due to the fact that there's too much. All right, it's pretty simple. It's straightforward. You can say it's straightforward, and like that it is straightforward, like chemistry, physics. Okay. Well, yeah, we have these questions here. You misunderstood completely. What do you hope to do when you finish your studies? What do you hope to do when you're done with your,
Okay.
let's say, high school or university or both? So your future plans for life, not after school, not leisure time activities. Misunderstood the question. Careful with that, please. Don't hurry. Don't rush the answer. So what is the number one rule of IELTS speaking?
Okay.
You have to
Have to
make sure that
make sure we are doing it okay.
it's absolutely certain
Yeah.
you
Okay.
understand. I'm trying to help you answer this. The what?
Three. What?
Oh, I'm sorry about that. You cannot see it. I apologize. Here,
Okay.
I was trying to type this for you.
Okay.
Have to make sure
Absolutely certain. Do you understand the questions?
the questions
Yeah.
100%. Yes, fully. Okay. So Can you repeat the number one rule of IELTS again? Speaking mostly. What is the number one rule? Thanh.
Number one rule is make sure that you understand the question.
You understand the question how?
How it spells or how it works.
100%.
Percent.
And what if you only understand it 95%? You misunderstood one word. Imagine that.
Okay.
What do you do? If you misunderstood one word, what would you do in that situation?
If I misunderstood one is I have to make sure that I good. I have to try to include it. Try it much.
Hmm?
Okay.
You have to what?
Yeah.
What do you have to ask the examiner, Thanh? Come on, let's focus a little bit more.
Okay. Well, could you answer? Could you repeat that?
Imagine you misunderstood one word in a question.
Okay, so I have to ask the examiner about that word.
How would you do that?
Well, I think that I have to ask for the examiner for that word.
If you can pronounce it.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yes.
But what if you can't?
Well, so just screwed up. So I just screwed up.
No. You can ask another question. What can you ask in that case?
Okay.
There's a question and you don't understand one word in it. What do? You can't say that word.
Okay. If I can't say that word, I don't know. If there's one word that I don't understand, I can't say it, so I will try to make the examiner understand what to do.
You will make sure the examiner understands what to do. You can ask them to repeat the question.
Yes.
If you misunderstood one word, you ask them to repeat the question. If you can't say the word, if you can't say it, you can say, right, what is this thingamajig? What do you mean by thingamajig? Can you explain that? Can you explain the word thingamajig? I don't understand it. That's what you say, yeah?
Okay.
But if you can't pronounce it or say it, you can ask, could you repeat the question, please? Yeah?
Yeah.
But then you still don't understand it. Then what do you do next?
If I still do I have to ask it for another time?
Of course. So what did I just say? What's the number one rule? You have to understand the question. So what does it mean?
100%.
You can't answer until you fully understand the question. You have to keep extracting the information from the examiner. They are there. They are not a robot, so they can answer your questions about. This is a part of the test. You have to ask them. If you don't ask the examiner, it's like coming to an expensive restaurant and not using the services of the waiter. It's like going to the chef and trying to talk to them about what you want to eat, right? It's like imagine you go to a restaurant and you don't talk to the waiter at all. That's how it is in the IELTS test when you don't ask the examiner to explain the questions to you. They are there to explain them to you. But most importantly, there's a word you don't understand. You ask them to repeat and you still don't understand. Then you just ask them to what?
To paraphrase.
Paraphrase, of course. That's what you can ask. I can say, good. Well, all right. So could you please paraphrase that? I don't quite get it. So could you paraphrase that, please, for me? Yeah?
Yeah.
Or could you say it in other words? You can also say same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Okay.
Or you can even ask this. Can you give me an
Example.
example? That makes it so much easier. Yeah? But okay, paraphrase, explain, whatever. You can't answer until you're fully done. Even in part 2, if you see a card and there's a word or there's a situation you don't understand, maybe you know all the words, but you don't understand what it's about exactly. You can ask them while preparing. You can say, I'm sorry, I don't fully understand. Well, what do you want me to answer? Can you give me an example of what you mean here? What does this topic mean, right?
Yeah.
Or you can ask about the words also if there's something new. So that's a very important part of the test.
Yeah.
Now, after part 1, you get part 2. Well, actually, you get another set of part 1 questions. Here they are for you. Yeah, you've answered them okay-ish, pretty well, I would say. You can take a look later, maybe fix some things if you have the energy, but probably not. Probably just go sleep. Then in part 2, you have these questions. You get the topic card. Don't forget to try to answer every single question one by one. Then they
Well,
usually...
I try to, but you just stop me.
No, I stop you because 2 minutes are up.
Okay.
That's what they do. You can't speak for more than 2 minutes. But I'm just saying, like, try to answer. And about 30 seconds per question, per, like, per paragraph, right? 4 paragraphs, one question, 30 seconds per paragraph. And that means about 3 sentences or maybe two sentences per paragraph. So each question is about 2 sentences. That's all.
Yeah.
So don't talk too much on either of the questions. And then you have also an extra question at the end. They usually ask you. This is part of part 2. Then in part 3, you get the harder questions. And most of them will be... Well, most of them are usually ideas. So, like, what kinds of things can children learn to cook? And you give, like, you start that how? How do you answer ideas questions?
Well, I don't. I just have like one or two ideas about this.
Well, for example, I've got one main idea. So there's one main thing that people, that children,
Yeah.
the children can learn or should, but in my opinion, should learn. There's one main thing.
Okay.
Maybe there are three
Yeah.
there are 3 things. So there are 3 types of things. Better to think about when we talk about part 3, it's better not to talk about specific things, but about categories, things in general, types, right? Children can cook. Like, for example, well, they can learn how to make drinks. That's a category. Don't just say like juice, yeah? Drinks. Or
Yeah.
fried, they need to learn how to fry things. Not like just a fried egg. That's
Yeah.
a detail. You can say, all right, they need to learn how to do frying,
Yeah.
including eggs and chicken and this and that, right? So categories, and then a bit more specific, a few specific examples. So that's for ideas question. And for opinions questions, can you find one opinion question here for me, please?
Working on yourself. What skill does okay? What skills does how enjoyable would you think it would be to work as a professional chef?
And what are the 2 opinions here? Well, 2 sides.
It is it it is very very and it
It
is not.
would be and it wouldn't be.
Okay.
Copy the words from the question. I mean, the tense. Copy the tense on the words. It would, right? It would be. So so some people find it really enjoyable because this and that, while others don't find it enjoyable. As for me, I think it would depend on the kind of job I got. Like, if it was in a Chinese restaurant, I might not be too happy. But if I worked at an Australian beef steak restaurant, that make me very happy, right? So that's how you answer. 2 sides, then the personal opinion, your personal opinion. And that's it. You're done with part 3 as well. There's one more thing I wanted to take a look at, the last thing before we finish here.
Okay.
And that is, you know what? That is band descriptors. Can you see?
Yes.
So we have the first column. For example, you want an 8. So fluency. That's what. That's just speaking. Like, how do you speak? Not vocabulary, not grammar, not pronunciation. Fluently means occasional repetition. So you don't need to repeat yourself too much, but you can repeat yourself, like, let's say 3-4 times per test. Yeah.
Okay.
A couple of self-corrections is fine, so that's okay. So you can come back and correct yourself. You can repeat a few things the same way. Only occasional, yeah, I would say about 3-4 times per whole test. Keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Hesitation means like thinking too much is when you need to think about the ideas instead of language, right? Well, maybe, all right, one time you can think about language, and most of the time you just think about what to say, like what kinds of animals do you like? You're not trying to remember the word for lion, you're just trying to think of, do I like zebras more or do I like ostriches more, right? For example. So that means content related, not language. Do you understand?
Yes. Okay.
Develops topics coherently and appropriately. That means logically, so not like an idiot. You know the idiot word? The word idiot? So people expect answers that are solid, like understandable and logical. For example, remember the first question about, I think, are you do you work or are you a student? So you started it well, but then the second part of your answer was incoherent and not appropriate, right? So that's what I'm talking about. Like, don't go too far from the original question, please. Yeah?
Oh, okay.
Are you okay?
Yes.
Falling asleep?
Yes. Okay.
Falling asleep?
Maybe.
Maybe. So that's for 8, right? That's for fluency. And that's probably the hardest. A bit easier lexical resource. Well, wide vocabulary resource means a lot. You know, a lot of words that are easily there. Instead of like thinking too long to come up with them, you can instantly say them readily and flexibly. Means that you can paraphrase, you can use nice, precise words and use them flexibly. So, for example, what do lions do? Do they shout?
No.
What do they do?
Lions they just go hunting and living like a
What sound? How do we call the sound that the lions make? Do they shout?
Okay.
Do they sing?
No, they just roar.
Exactly. See, you know that word. They roar. Yeah? And when you say lions shout, that means you're not going to get an 8 for this vocabulary, lexical resource, right? Because if you say lions shout, that's not good. But if you say roar, that's readily. First of all, if you say it immediately without lions, I think what do lions do? Oh yeah, they roar, right? If you do that, that's not good, right? Readily, immediately, right? So lions, of course, they roar, and flexibly means you can explain that too. Like, what is a lion roaring?
Okay.
Well, that's them making their normal animal sounds, I guess. Yeah, that's flexibly as well. So use less common and idiomatic vocabulary skillfully. Remember I taught you how to start part 2, right? When you gave me, or when I saw the topic card, the first thing that sprang to mind, that's idiomatic vocabulary skillfully, yeah? And that is less common.
Okay.
With occasional inaccuracies, so you can say 1 or 2 idioms with mistakes, with just minor mistakes, but appropriately. So that would help you get a high score in lexical resource. And paraphrase, that is, well, you're supposed to be able, when you explain things, you say something, right? I think children should learn how to cook well And by that, I mean they should learn how to use the tools in the kitchen skillfully. So I said the same thing, but I paraphrased it, right? So that's effective paraphrase, and it's required because you can't just say, all right, children need to learn how to cook well. That's not enough, right? So you need to paraphrase that. For grammar, well, grammar means don't repeat just well all the time. Don't repeat okay all the time. Don't repeat this because that, this because that, this because that, and this because that. That's the same structure. Try to use varied structures. That's why in part 3 you have, well, the reason structure for ideas, and you have the, 2 sides for the opinions. That's a different structure. So that gives you extra points. Error-free sentences. Past tense mistakes. Remember, you still have them. Verbs in past tense in part 2. Not ask, asked, or asked. Yes? That's going to be your 8 if you do that well. Pronunciation. Don't hurry. Let your mouth and the tongue do the job. If you hurry, they cannot do the job. Yeah? You are not a native speaker. You cannot speak with the speed of an American or a British singer or something. Just slow down. Flexible use of features means you don't really it's not hard to understand your words. When you say them, I get them. That's all. It's okay to have an accent. It's not okay to make it so the examiner doesn't understand your words. Well, okay, that's all. And that is your 8. That's all you need to do tomorrow.
Yeah.
Questions?
Yes.
So?
Could you send me that file on our personal Zalo?
Of course, I will send you the whole, the speaking test, and the band link is at the very top. Okay?
Okay.
So here's your document. Actually, let me share it first. I think it might not be shared yet. Yeah, let me share it. Okay, yeah, I've shared it, and now you can review that. And also, one maybe last thing that you might want to look at is a video of a real test. Here I have sent you. That's just a recording of a relatively recent test that happened about 2 years ago, I think. And you can just see how it goes, like in real time, in real life, and just see for yourself if you want how to do it well, or how to avoid mistakes of the person in the video. So, do we finish here?
Yes.
Well, it's been nice teaching you,
Bye.
Thanh. I've enjoyed seeing you progress. You're very smart. You know English very well. Remind yourself that before you enter the room tomorrow. Tell to yourself that I'm confident. I deserve an 8.
Okay.
You have to say it to yourself. If you don't say it, you're not going to get it.
Okay. Bye.
Thank you, Thanh. Get some sleep. Bye-bye.
Okay.